Alright folks, we're back with the start of the Carb Loading Series. If you missed it, there's an important video to watch. Things that are more important than carb loading. Today, we are going to cover the tangible goals of carb loading.
So to get started, what types of events would you need to carb load for?
What types of events? Golf, curling, and pool. Billiards.
Darts?
Darts, perhaps, bowling. Generally, endurance events, or any athletic event that's going to last between 90 minutes and 4 hours is like prime time for carb loading, like Leadville, or trying to BQ, or I'm so unnatural listing off, I feel like I'm name dropping races and I hate it. It feels like, are you trying to qualify for Boston? Do you want to get into Leadville? Are you racing the Silver Rush? Austin Rattler, maybe? You know, it's like, you need carb loading.
Goal number 1. Fill up on glycogen. So when I think of carb loading, I think of glycogen. What is glycogen and why is it important?
Glycogen is a intramuscular storage form of carbohydrate. Specifically, it's a bunch of glucose molecules all strung together. Much like our maltodextrin video, you've seen me do this before. Glucose molecules get all strung together, bonded together one at a time. In your muscles, that's glycogen. Outside your muscles, we call it maltodextrin or HPCD or branched cyclic dextrin, etc., etc. The bonds are a little bit different inside your muscles. Glycogen is important during endurance exercise because it is the most efficient form of fuel that you have. You have three systems. You have creatine phosphate system, you have glycolysis, oxidative metabolism, free fatty acids, and the byproducts of glycolysis go into the oxidative system. Creatine phosphate is really fast. Oxidative system is voluminous and slow and is less efficient, and while it can provide a lot of energy over time, and you're like, oh, that's great for endurance, it's not as efficient, meaning you don't get as much energy for as little energy input as you do in glycogenolysis inside the muscle, which feeds glycolysis also inside the muscle, right next to each other, glycogenolysis and glycolysis. And so glycogen is a super efficient form of fuel, and it matters if you have a ton of it socked away in your muscles.
And it's close to the working muscles too.
Yeah, it's like right inside the muscle cells where you need that energy.
And the liver, but...
And the liver.
Yeah. How can we use nutrition or carbs to facilitate recovery and preparedness to race hard?
You can eat a lot of them all the time, but in general, in carbohydrate loading, you will want to eat a lot of them in the few days or day before your race, and we'll get into that in another video. After you hear about our app. Do you use the app?
Yeah, I definitely use the app. We made it for a reason because I was sick and tired of crunching numbers.
So what does it look like when you use it?
Wow, you're putting me on the spot.
What do? You like grab your phone or what?
I grab my phone, go into the app. It knows a bunch of information about me that I've already plugged in, and I tell it what I'm doing for training. Actually, it already knows what I'm doing for training because it's pulling it my workouts from Training Peaks, and it tells me exactly what I need for my fuel, hydration, for my training session or race.
Why do you use it?
Because I don't like being hypoglycemic and I don't like being hypotensive when I'm training. I like to feel good while I'm training and racing. I just don't like having to think, I guess. I just want to start my training session. I want to quickly get on the bike. I want to quickly start my run or my swim or my lift. I don't want to have to think about, oh, how long is this going to be? How hot is it going to be? How much am I going to be sweating? How much sodium am I going to be needing? How many grams of carbs am I going to be needing per hour? Am I getting my carbs from the appropriate sources? Am I going to get GI distress? Am I going to feel faint today? Am I going to be, hungry? I don't want to think about any of that stuff. I just want to do my session.
Punch it in. And...
Yeah, I don't even punch it in because it already knows what I'm doing from Training Peaks. But, you could punch it in if you wanted to.
I actually haven't used the Training Peaks sync feature because I don't plan my training in Training Peaks. So I just punch it in and it's easy enough that...
Goal number 2, facilitate good recovery in the days leading up to the race. How can we use nutrition or carbs to facilitate good recovery?
They do it on their own. You put them in your body, they take care of business. You should probably have some other macronutrients as well, so don't just eat carbohydrates, like don't just drink sugar water for 3 days before the race. Not that I think any of you, well, some of you might. Tag a friend who might do that. I'm sorry, that's rude.
I know some people that would do that. I would have done that in the past, probably. My younger years.
In all seriousness, you should have some protein and some fat, and you can expect your calories to go up. I don't know if you track calories, but if you did, it's totally fine to have your calorie count be higher than you actually need for the few days leading into your race because of your carb loading. Pretty normal for your protein to also go up, just because a lot of carb sources have protein or are consumed with protein. So if you're a little over on daily protein needs, that's totally fine. Try to limit fats, try to limit fiber a bit, otherwise you're going to get so full that you can't actually carb load.
Goal number 3, keep traveling easy to manage. How do I manage carb loading while traveling to a race?
I'm not prepared for this question. Oh my gosh. How do I carb load while traveling? I pack loaves of bread, usually a sports drink, lots of granola bars. Real talk, I probably just stop at the store as soon as I get to wherever I'm going.
I mean, easy to carry things. I mean, I'm not going to, if I'm traveling to a race, I'm not going to be bringing pancakes and syrup with me. I'll probably be eating like Nutri-Grain bars or, Pop-Tarts or, something that's easy to eat, portable, not something messy. I probably wouldn't do the plain loaves of bread because that's boring, but...
Yeah, you probably don't want to overdo bread either, because for some folks, actually for a lot of folks, if you eat enough wheat or wheat-based stuff, high volumes of wheat-based stuff, whole wheat pasta, etc., you can give yourself some GI distress. Some bread is great, but also, honestly, more sugary things like jams and syrups are great. Sports drinks are great. This is the one time in your entire life that you should be drinking a sports drink outside of a sport.
So low fiber, higher carbohydrate. So essentially the unhealthy carbohydrates.
Yeah, all them white carbs.
So what would you tell your athlete to do if they had to take a long plane trip to a race and the race is coming up in a couple of days?
Well, convenience is going to be key, and a lot of convenient things come in single-use wrappers, and you need to be eating carbs sort of around the clock, so all day long. It's not like you can just pack in 600 grams of carbs in one meal. You need to be pretty much snacking on high-carb foods all day long. So that might mean eating 8 Rice Krispie treats on the plane, so it might be a good idea to bring a little garbage bag or a gallon Ziploc bag for your wrappers, and a gallon Ziploc bag to hold your snacks. Pro tip. Yeah, you're going to end up with a lot of wrappers. Don't buy Nature Valley granola bars. They're the crumbliest things on the planet, and you will, if you're carb loading with those, you are going to be covered in crumbs.
Avoid GI distress during your carb load. Will excessive carbohydrates during your carb load create GI distress?
It can if you choose the wrong things, for sure. If you're really health focused and you're I'm going to eat a diverse, colorful array of carbohydrates. You got your sweet potatoes and your peppers and whatever other colorful things. Quinoa, just all the non-simple carbs. Yeah, you can totally give yourself a whopping bout of GI distress, especially if you get a little bit nervous. And this is I'm talking to some people who are health conscious and maybe higher anxiety. You definitely should be erring on the simpler side of things. Higher fiber foods are probably not the best during your carb load. Anxiety affects the gut, in case that wasn't clear.
So can you give me some examples of good things and bad things, more examples?
Yeah, so choose white potatoes or yellow potatoes instead of sweet potatoes or yams, white rice instead of brown rice. Pretty much everything the opposite of what you would normally do in a super healthy diet. Imagine the most healthy diet that you can imagine. Avoid all those foods, and then go into the candy aisle, the cookie aisle, and look for low-fat candy. You don't need to be packing down Hostess Ho-Hos that are super high fat and super high carb. You would want to choose gummy candies, hard candies. Don't tell your dentist.
Some fat's okay, but lower fat.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be zero fat, but definitely lower fat if possible.
Yeah, don't get the creamy sauce. Lots of Asian sauces are super high sodium and high sugar. That's a favorite of mine. Sweet and sour.
Maximize carb absorption during your race. And how would carb loading before your race impact your ability to absorb carbs during your race?
When you carb load, you're going to be consuming some sugars for sure. You're going to have to consume sugar. Glucose and fructose are the two primary constituents of sugar, which will be a staple of whatever things that you consume during your carb load. When you consume glucose and fructose, your gut adapts to both of those by becoming better at absorbing both of those things. You actually get more glucose absorbers and more fructose absorbers in the lumen of your gut to pull those things from your intestines to your bloodstream, and those things, transporters, stick around long enough into your race and through your race and probably a few days after your race. They're hanging out ready to absorb whatever you have to consume during your race.
Promote restful sleep. And how can carb loading affect that?
It can do the opposite. So there's some warnings here. To meet your carb loading goals, you don't want to also be totally disrupting your sleep the days before and nights before your big race. Consuming more calories in general can raise thermogenesis a bit, make you a little bit warmer. If you're sensitive at night to disturbances in your sleep environment or how you feel, especially if temperature is one of them, and we sleep in an ice cold bedroom, so that definitely is a big one for us. You need to not consume consume your carbs right before bed. It's much better to consume them throughout the day and avoid, honestly, the highest fat, highest calorie carbs, especially at the end of the day. So have like leaner, lower fat carbs towards the end of the day so that you don't get the meat sweats at night. You don't want to be consuming probably tons of low sodium fluid right before bed. So that would not be like the time to have your Kool-Aid if you're drinking some sort of Tang or Kool-Aid or whatever you like to drink for your carb load. Don't do that right before bed, otherwise you'll get up to use the bathroom a bunch. Oh, post-training consumption. Post-training carbohydrate consumption can actually help you sleep better. So if you pack in the glycogen right after training, even if it's an easier training session, it can help you sleep by doing that.
Oh, also, we've had some requests from some of our users, and we've been asked if we do coaching or consults, and we do. We've decided to open ourselves up to that. So Alex has graciously decided to open up for some 30-minute and hour, is that what you're doing? 30-minute or 1 hour one-on-one phone or video calls. If you have any questions or you want help setting up your training plans, figuring out how to optimize the use of your app, or if you just have general questions or concerns regarding nutrition or training, Alex is your guy.
I actually really enjoyed talking to you all. I just had a consult with somebody over in Europe. Yeah, he said it was, it's really humbling. He doesn't need to talk to me again for like 2 months because it's working really well. So I look forward to talking to you, and thank you for being here. Appreciate you all.
Until next time.
Until next time.